Hey everybody, how you doing out there? Welcome to week 3. Week 2, I didn't do a video because I met with all the project managers. I think we're underway. I'm seeing a few of you already scheduling your appointments with your client, which is exciting. So let's talk about week 3, where we're at and what's happening. I have already graded all of your Google certifications. Really impressive, different directions each of you had decided to embrace. Hopefully you found value in that assignment, something that you can use beyond the class. But now we're into the team section. I've talked to the project managers. The project managers understand their responsibilities in the class. They will be the ones submitting the work on behalf of the team. They'll be giving me updates each week of how the team is performing. They will be sending on the assignment to the client as much as submitting to me. Several things that are juggling. Also, I recommended to all project managers that they triage the wealth of work that is due this semester. So looking at the overall plan, who is going to do what as the point person. Now, it's very important. The point person does not do the assignment by themselves. They're just pulling together all the content, making sure that it gets finalized, and then handed it off to the project manager for submission. So, for example, maybe Glenn will say, hey, I am pretty good with video creation. Somebody else will say, well, no, I'll help you edit. Somebody else might say, I'll be an actor in the filming. Whatever the case may be, I want everybody working on the assignments, even if it's not your responsibility or you're not the point person on the assignment. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so this week you're meeting with your client. Hopefully the entire team is meeting with the client. You're doing a discovery meeting. This is very common in industry. Meeting with the client to see where they're at, what their expectations are, some of their considerations. And then you're going to look at all of their social media platforms and do a social media audit. The best marketing consulting is assessing current state and then making a plan for a future state, all the work you're going to do during this semester. So here's a social media audit and a great video I'd recommend you watching before you start your work. You're looking at the strategy and the tactic elements of an audit. This one I have found to be a very thought-provoking video as you do your work. Now, as always, I post examples. I heard from a few folks that they couldn't open the examples. There was a broken link, so I think it's fixed now. This is a good example of an SMA. I call them SMAs, social media audit. They looked at Willamette Valley Bed and Breakfast. You'll see this team throughout the semester, examples of their work because it was that good. And these were the players on the team. So first they give me a table of contents, and the next page has to be a business overview. Make sure you give me an understanding of the business. Oh, is it missing here? Oh, they went right into website audit. And then they went in LinkedIn audit, and then they went into Facebook audit. But you can see the theme, tempo, and pace of, and then a conclusion. For some reason, there's missing, maybe there's something wrong with the upload, but you got the business overview, website, LinkedIn, Facebook. So what I want you to show me specifically is, okay, this is where they're currently at. Their website was developed in 2019. Their tactical analysis, and then recommendations. So each of the sites that they're currently using, you give recommendations. So here, LinkedIn, they are using 8, but they only have 8 followers on it. Established in 2022. This is some of the tactical and strategic analysis that team assessed, and then this is the recommendation and next steps. Their Facebook recommendation next steps and next steps. And then a conclusion wrap-up. Okay, great. Now let's jump out and look at another example. This is one of my favorites. Cascade Primary Care, team I worked with last fall. And here's a table of contents. Here's the business overview, what the primary care is trying to achieve. Social media audit, I really like the visual representation they provided in this example. Here's Instagram and here's X. They had, different, attendance of people. They didn't have many people on X. Maybe they should recommend not even using that. Here's Facebook and LinkedIn. And then they got deeper into each of, sorry about that, my dog is getting a little crazy here. So just bear with me as he barks. And here's the audit. Strategic analysis, follower 61, tactical analysis, and then recommendations. You can see the theme, tempo, feel of it. And then finally, you have one more example. It's Pet Vet. Why I'm giving you 3 examples, you can see different approaches, different look and feels, but they still achieve the goal. Social media audit, this is the team. They have a company background, business overview, gives me insight to the business. What does their website look like? Here it is currently. Summary, strategic analysis, tactical analysis, and then conclusions, recommendations. Same thing, Instagram. So again, once you establish, though, on this work, your branding feel, you want to have that consistent through all your work throughout the semester. So you can see the level of work that's being achieved here. Okay. The other assignment that's due this week is choosing a channel. And I've already heard from a few folks on this assignment, so let's make sure it's clear, is you want to try to elevate either existing site or a site they're not using to 250 followers. So let's say one of you are working with audio-visual company, and audio-video, I should say, and they have Instagram already, and you think their Instagram's pretty solid. So you say, hey, we want as a team to elevate what your current following is 250 more. There's no cap. I mean, if you go 500, that's great, but the minimum is 250. That's one option. Or you look at the company site, and I know there's one business out there that doesn't have any social media marketing. Maybe you go, wow, they should have Instagram, or they should have Facebook, or they should have, LinkedIn. You start the site for them and then try to get 250 followers. Now the catch is, because I had a couple people reach out, you don't have to have 250 by the end of this week. It's 250 by the end of the semester. So there's a 2-pronged approach to this assignment. One is to choose a channel that you're going to give some life to. But then also within the term or semester, you tell me we made it or we didn't, this is why. So you have to give some kind of validation. So that's the assignment. And now if you look, again, example, this is Russo's, another fabulous team. Here is it's a sparkling cider, Murphy, and choosing channel. So they had social media. They're going to look at the channel. Instagram was the one they're going to use. Sorry about this. Hopefully I can speak over my pup. And here's the building and following. Targeting the right audience and so forth. This is what I'm looking for from your work. So you can see it's pretty in-depth work. And what I want to impress upon you is you're not going to be creating a cauldron paper. It has to be something that is at this level. Okay, well, I'm almost done, so that's good because my dog is now starting to melt down. And also don't forget you have a discussion question. You have 2 discussion questions here as well. So folks, I'm going to call this good because something's wrong with my dog. And I'll get back to you next week. Take care.